Hello everyone, welcome back to the Database migration series. In today's video, we will migrate one of the most common Azure Data Factory pipelines to the Databricks. The pipeline is very simple. We have a CSV file stored in the Azure Blob Storage, and the ADF copy activity read the file and load into the destinations. So in our migrations, instead of loading the data to the SQL server, we will load into a Delta table, which is the recommended approach in a modern Lakehouse architecture. By end of this video, you will understand how the ADF copy activity maps to the database by using the Apache Spark. Let's get started. So our existing ADF pipelines architecture looks like you can see here. So this is a Azure Blob Storage, which is which will have a file, and here copy activity, which will load the data to SQL Server. SQL Server. So this is our ADF Azure Data Factory existing architecture, and then what we are going to implement in our Databricks. So this is look like this one. So CSV file, which is in the blob, okay, and after the CSV file, we will read the data from the CSV file using Spark data frame, and then from the data frame, we will load the data to the Delta table. Okay, so for this video I am using the Databricks free edition. So um, you can go to the Databricks and log in with your email address, and then uh, you can start working on this one. Okay, if you don't know how to log in and log into the Databricks, and then let me know in the comment section. I will create a separate video for this installations. So we have a problem, we have a problem statement. We are going to load the CSV file using the Spark data frame to the Delta table, so using the database. So let's get started with this one. So before that, I am just going to the Azure portal. Okay, inside this portal I have already created one storage account, where you can see this is my storage account, where I have added created one container and blob storage, and in the ingestion you can see there is one file. Okay, there are a lot more files. Yeah, I'm just using this one. So this is the file you can see here. So I have this order file, so I'm going to load this data. I will fetch the data from here and then load it into the Delta table. So let's get started from the Databricks workspace. Go to the workspace. Here you can write the code here, and this is workspace, and under my name, email address, you can add the folder as well, and you can start with. So I have created already the one folder, Databricks tutorials. So this is my folder. So let's get started now. After clicking one, I will go to this one. So this is already been created. So we will start to the from the fresh one. So I'm just going to uh, create one folder package. Okay, one important thing here. So here I'm using the Databricks free edition, so I cannot use here ADLS Azure Data Lake here inside this Databricks workspace. Okay, so to fetch the data from the Azure storage, I am going to use the SDK Azure SDK from the Python code. So that's why I will create a one package which will be a reusable package. You can edit anywhere. So I'm just creating one folder here, the package. Okay, so inside the package I will create one file, file called, i will I will edit blob service py. So this is going to be a Python code, we will use it here. Okay, so for this one I will create one class blob service. Okay, inside this blob service I will create one init function here. Inside the init functions I need some parameters, spark and blob name. So I'm expecting this parameter which is coming from the caller side. Okay, and then we will create one method here which will download file self. So these are the self, and this is the Python code. I am assuming you know. Okay, yeah, I'm assuming this in this series you are already familiar with the Databricks, Python code, and Azure Data Factory. Because if you don't know these three parts, just let me know in the comments. I will create the separate video, maybe for 1 or 2 hours video. Then it will you will be able to uh, maybe refresher video. You can just watch that, and then you can start working on this one. Okay. Okay. To connect the Databricks Azure storage account, so we need a connection string. Okay, so I'm just creating one object here, connection string. Okay, and we need also to install one package, azure.storage.blob import blob service client. So this is the package which is provided by the Python to interact with the Azure Blob Storage. Okay, uh, we will need uh, two more packages for getting the data from the blob storage for the IO from the byte IO, and which will create the file into the byte, and the pandas as PD. Okay, that's it. Now go to the blob. So I'm creating a blob service client here, client. So in this here I will use the blob service client dot from connection string. Okay, you can see the AI is very smart from the database. It has written the whole code for me. So yeah, so this is the connection, blob connection we are getting from this class. So in this uh, here we will get the blob service client, and from the blob service client we are getting uh, uh, we will get the container client here. Okay, to get the blob client. Okay, here we will need one more, right? One more thing, container. Without container also we can do it, but yeah, we will. It will be a good. We can add container. Okay, sales dot container. Okay, once you will get the container here, then okay, after reading the container client, the list of blobs. I am not going to list of blobs here. I am going to uh, get the blob here. Container get blob and either self dot blob name blob. Client. Okay, that's it. So this is our blob client. After the blob client, we will what we need to do. We need to load the data, get the data of the blob. So blob client, what is blob client dot download blob dot read all. Okay, now we will convert this data to the byte array, and then from the PD read the Parquet, read into the Parquet format. Okay, and then after the PD is yes, and then here we will start Spark DF. Okay, I'll let you know. 1 second. This is our code. Okay, here what we are doing here. So we are creating the blob client. After the blob client, we will read the data from the blob, and then we are converting to the byte IO, and then this byte IO is going to be passed into the packet and pandas and panda will, and then this panda DF data frame will be passed into this spark one, which is going to be create one data frame, and then this is the spark data frame which we are going to return here from this function. That's it. The one thing I want to let you know, the connection string. So I have already get it the connection string in my notebook, in my notepad, and then just copying and pasting here. That's it from the package side. Okay, so let's create one notebook here where we are going to call this ingestion ingestion notebook. Okay, so in this ingestion notebooks, what we are going to do here, so we will call the this package function. So how we can call this package, because I will reference to this folder name package dot the file name blob service import. What we are going to import inside the from the blob service, this object, this class object. Okay, so I am going to import this one. So I'm going to run this one, so it will run by default in the serverless compute. So to run this notebook, we always need the compute. Okay, so this you can see the import package is complete. So we can we can also rename this one uh, sale to better readability import packages. Okay, then in the next cells, what we are going to create some variables in it, variables. So what variable we will need here? We will need here the blob name. Okay, what is the blob name of the here? This is this data we are going to use it. Okay, so blob name, or one more thing, container name What is our container name? Container name is ingestion. Ingestion. This is our container name. Okay, that's it. I think these two variable is enough for us. Let's run this cell as well. So to run this cell, I am using the short key control or enter. You can also click in this run button as well, then it will run. Okay, now we are going to call this blob service. Oh, no. Okay, now create the object of this run, the blob service. Blob service. What parameters expecting this service? Spark is the object which is already been created by the notebook. Okay, so we don't need to pass it. Spark container name is from the container name, and what is the method name is the download files. So we are going to use the download files, blob service download files, and display df. I just run it. Okay, unexpected container name. Sorry, it is not going to be container. It is okay. I've used this autocomplete thing, and then that's why it is failing. It is not always correct. Okay, what is the issue here? So container client get blobs is not there. Oh, okay. Okay, what is the issue here? Okay, I think we missed one thing. Uh, the blob clients, this is not going to be used here like this. So what we need to do here, from after getting the service clients, we will create a blob client here, blob underscore client. How? The blob client, blob service client will take the parameter container, self of container, and blob line. So this is the how we will create the blob line. After the getting the blob line, we will download this one, and then I've just execute this one. So let me just, okay, whenever you interact with the packages from the local development, you need to do one thing, because I have changed this package, right? But inside this notebook, it is not reference, it is not updated latest package, it is referencing the previous one. So to solve these ones, you need to always do this line. This is only for the development purpose, not for the production, not recommended for the production one. So db utils dot libraries dot restart python. Yes, that is the one. Sorry, I forgot this one. So yeah, so this will restart the python library. Then we need to re-execute this test, because it is going to be, yeah. Now, okay, let's see the what is the error here. Okay, one thing we have missed here, so we need to pass it the folder name, because our blob is inside this input folder, not in the root one. So now let's try it, what is happening here. So what, yeah, now you can see we are able to load the data from CSV to our into the data frame. Now the next step, once we will get the data from this for this stage, then we need to create one more stage here. Before that stage, we need to create uh, the catalog where we want to store the data. Create the catalog. What we can do here, we'll go to the catalog. Okay, inside the catalog. Okay, these are my catalogs. So we will create the separate catalog for this one. So let me create using this SQL editor part. Okay, so how I can create it? Okay, create catalog if not exist. Okay, so what is the my catalog name? Should be raw data. Raw data. Okay, so it will create. You can verify as well here. Just refresh it. Yeah, you can see the raw data catalog has been created here. Okay, now another thing we need to create it. Schema. Again, I'm telling you guys, if you don't know what is this one, what is this catalog schema, just let me know. I will create the separate video for this one. If not exist, then in this schema, I am just creating staging. Okay, this is my schema name. Okay, that's it. So this is my catalog section here. I can see the data as well. Raw is here. Schema is not reflected here. Oh my god, I did a mistake here. I need to pass raw underscore data dot. We need to specify the catalog as well from where you are going to create the schema. Okay, now you can see the staging is here. Okay, this is the one. Okay, this part is completed. Now we'll go back to our uh, this section, injection pipeline. Okay, after loading the data, we need to write this data to the uh, delta table. So there is one way. Df dot write. Df is our this data frame. Okay, df dot write. Okay, yes, it is suggesting what is this. Okay, now this is the file. Okay, okay. So mode. What is the mode here? The override means whatever data is available inside the file, inside the delta table, it will override. But for the staging things, we recommended to append the data, not the override the data. Okay, and save as table. So what is the table? So this is our table name. So for giving the table name, we need to pass the full path. Raw data is our catalog. Staging is our schema, and table name is orders. So it will load the data into this table. So I've just run this one, and also I will do select query as well. So here you can see one magic command here. Write SQL. If I do here, this notebook is change its language to SQL. Earlier it was Python. You can see like this. You can see here, and then I can write a query here. Select star from this table, and then I can do the query here as well. Then you can see this data has been uploaded here. Okay. So what we learn here, so we have created one reusable package here. So this package you can use it anywhere. Okay, blob service you can use you can use it anywhere. So okay, in this package we have used this hard coded connection string and all those things, hard coded connection string, and then some of this stuff is also been hard coded. So in the later upcoming video I will create one complete automated or automated framework, then you where you don't need to pass any hard coded value, and it is going to be all coming from the uh, preferred resources. Okay, that's it from today's. Thank you very much. See you in the next video.